Melissa and Aaron here for Truthstream Media.
Hey everybody.
Hey guys. Earlier I wrote this article, How Government Allows Dangerous Additives like MSG to Stay in Our Food. And it came about actually because I'd been reading a lot about different additives and how even once studies came forth to show they were dangerous, bad for you, the FDA still found a way to keep them in the food supply. And MSG is a great example of that because in the late 60s, all these studies were coming out showing that MSG actually caused brain damage in baby animals. And it wasn't just rats, it was also monkeys, baby chickens, mice. There were lots of studies showing this. And in a scramble to cover their ass, the FDA threw out some studies. They went and got a National Academy of Sciences panel together filled with people who had huge conflicts of interest. And they put forth studies that were barely completed to show that this stuff was okay, completely ignoring a huge body of independent research showing that it was dangerous and that it's a neurotoxic chemical that causes all kinds of problems. So I decided to go ahead and write an article about that because this is something that Aaron and I, through our research, have seen time and again on these food additives. This is by far not the only one. I was just trying to show there's a large history of this. I mean, aspartame, you look into the history of aspartame and Donald Rumsfeld, I mean, this is movie level, just theater, the kind of crap these people are getting away with. It's insane. And that stuff just goes right into the food. Anyway, the very first comment that I got on this story when I wrote it was from this guy chastising me because he says that chemical-based MSG was actually phased out in the mid-70s, but sadly I failed to mention that, and that modern MSG is natural-based. Now let me tell you, I am the first person to admit if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm going to say that I'm wrong. I would not want to lead people astray with faulty research. So I decided to go ahead and look into the natural production of MSG. So first, let's see what Dr. Russell Blaylock says. He actually wrote the book on it, Excitotoxins, The Taste That Kills. Earlier, I mentioned a substance called hydrolyzed vegetable protein, also referred to as vegetable protein or plant protein. This powerful excitotoxin mixture is often portrayed as perfectly safe and natural substance. After all, manufacturers say it's made from plants. Actually, this mixture is made from junk vegetables that are unfit for sale. They're specially selected so as to have naturally high contents of glutamate. The extraction process of hydrolysis involves boiling these vegetables in a vat of acid. That sounds very natural to me. This is followed by a process of neutralization with caustic soda. The resulting product is a brown sludge that collects on the top. This is scraped off and allowed to dry. The end product is a brown powder that is in 3 known excitotoxins, glutamate, aspartate, and cystoic acid, which converts in the body to cysteine. It is then added by the food industry to everything from canned tuna to baby food. I don't know about you, but putting things in a vat of acid and then a caustic soda and scraping brown sludge off the top, that does not sound natural to me. And this guy here says he quoted Wikipedia, the most trusted source in anything, as being similar to vinegar or yogurt. I don't know about you, when you make yogurt, I'm not sure if you're, putting it in a vat of acid.
Well, as you know, man is naturally here on Earth, so anything man makes is, first of all, natural, but also natural includes anything that's naturally engineered out of one or more substances anywhere, anytime.
I think we should look more into the actual process. I really want to know. If I'm wrong, I really want to know. I want to know exactly just how natural is the process of MSG
Let me read
creation.
to you the process of creating MSG through fermentation.
Which is what he's talking about.
Fermentation. That's a pretty
He
natural
said
process.
It was just like vinegar and yogurt.
I'll read to you from the 2003 edition of the Concise Encyclopedia of Bioresource Technology about this very natural process, from the section called Food Additive Production by Fermentation. Flavor potentiators. MSG is the most commonly used flavor potentiator. Although it can be isolated from natural sources, such as wheat or corn gluten, fermentative production is more practical. Organisms belonging to the genera Corynebacterium, including C. glutamicum, C. lilium, C. calonae, and C. hercules, as well as Brevis bacterium, also including B. divicatarium, B. amogenes, B. flav.
B. lactofermentum, B. rosium, B. saccharolyticatium, B. theogenitalis, B. amarothilothilia, not to mention Microbacterium M. flavius var glutamicum and M. salicinaculum.
And M. ammonium filum, which may
Are
or
you
may not have
casting a spell?
Yeah. Well, don't forget Arthobacter A. globiformis A. aminofascists. Of course, these are bacteria. That's still natural enough. They can produce L-glutamic acid when grown on a variety of carbon sources. Carbon, again, very natural, such as acetic acid, glucose, fructose, sucrose, and maltose, which all could be derived from molasses, starch, and cane or beet sugar, still in the natural zone. Sugar molasses is one very economical feedstock, but it requires treatment with penicillin or certain surface active agents to depress the excessive biotin activity. The absence of biotin at the end of the active growth phase results in a loss of integrity of the cell wall, culminating in the leakage of the glutamic acid into the medium. So you see, they break the cell wall, and that's how you get the glutamate out. A sugar concentration below 10%, nitrogen sources such as ammonium salts or urea, which also maintains a pH of 7 to 8, minerals such as ferrous and potassium, they're kept at a temperature of 30 to 37 degrees Celsius. You need to add aeration, and then you have agitation, which also plays a crucial role in glutamic acid fermentation. It's a straightforward process.
So natural.
Glutamic acid fermentation from N-paraffins has been studied in some depth, but it's never been commercialized due to economic reasons, so that's out. The use of a fed batch process in fermentation can increase yields up to 120 grams per liter of glutamic acid in the medium. Microorganisms used for L-glutamate fermentation are usually preserved by lyophilization below negative 80 degrees Celsius,
That sounds really natural.
which is a very natural threshold for temperature that is encountered in
I
nature
could totally do that
all
in my
the
kitchen
time,
right
you know.
now.
Exothermic fermentation causes a generation of heat, which can alter the propagation of the producing organism and subsequently the production of glutamic acid. Now, foam is created by the CO2 that's generated during fermentation. This is taken care of by using a biochemically inert silicon oil as an anti-foaming agent. Then the fermented broth is centrifuged to remove the microbial cells and other organic matter. Furthermore, then the clear liquid is concentrated under reduced pressure, followed by an adjustment of the pH to 3.2 with hydrochloric acid.
Oh, with acid.
Now, these crude crystals of L-glutamic acid are then suspended in water and neutralized with sodium hydroxide. They are then decolorized with activated charcoal to obtain a clear liquid that is further concentrated to crystallize MSG crystals. Those crystals are separated from the mother liquid and dried for packaging, and then continuous production of MSG using a fluidized bed and immobilized bacteria are reported. So this process can be done by a 5-year-old. It can be done by a first-year chemistry student.
I think that's the way my grandma makes yogurt.
This is what food, yeah. They say it's just like yogurt. I read yogurt. There's 9 steps, but 5 of them are like, and now your yogurt will be ready in 5 to 7 hours. You basically just heat it, add 2 or 3 ingredients, and then you wait. This, on the other hand, obviously requires an industrial process. So I guess that's natural because
this is natural. Well, guys, I'm sorry. I have to apologize to you all. I guess that guy's right. I guess MSG is just the most natural product that is added to our food today.
it's like picking a fruit off a tree.
It's like I could get my basket and put my little Red Riding Hood on and skip merrily out to the fields and just pluck the MSG right into the basket.
If nature didn't intend MSG, why did they give us MSG flavor receptors?
I hate that argument. It's so stupid. I mean, yeah, there's natural stuff in the antifreeze that's in my car, and I have natural receptors for sweet taste. It doesn't mean I naturally should be drinking antifreeze. They just want to argue about stuff that doesn't matter. Here's what matters, okay? What matters is the FDA is interpreting the Delaney Clause in a de minimis interpretation. That was written by Michael Taylor. He used to be the vice president of public policy for Monsanto. Now he's like our food deputy commissioner of safety, czar, whatever he is now. He's way up in the chain, and he's overseeing our food safety. But he's been a lawyer for Monsanto before. Okay, it's that guy. And they used to say they couldn't put any carcinogens in your food, and now they're like, well, we'll just put as much in there so it won't automatically kill you immediately. Okay? That's what it is. There's no test for chronic, long-term, low-level adverse effects. None of that going on. So in, 30 years from now, when you get cancer and die, you won't know what caused it. Who knows what it'll be? Will it be the MSG? Will it be the aspartame? Will it be the sodium benzoate? Will it be all the artificial colorings and chemicals, all the crap they're putting in the food? Which one will it be? You won't know. You'll have no chance to know.
They should make a clue game.
They should. And that's why I started this article with this quote. The thing that bugs me is that the people think the FDA is protecting them. It isn't. What the FDA is doing and what the public thinks it's doing are as different as night and day. And that was Dr. Herbert Lay, who was a former Food and Drug Administration commissioner. Okay? This is the point I was trying to make by telling this story. Not getting into some argument with some random person citing Wikipedia about how natural MSG is. It's ridiculous.
It's time we wake up. They're not guarding the hen house. It's just all foxes. It's so natural it took over 10 minutes to explain.
It's so natural.